Welcome tuelimishwe kwa masuala ya jamii, tuchunguzwe sana mbalimbali, tujuzwe juu ya matukio ya kila pembe, wapa burudani kwa familia nzima.
Hello matajiri na matajiri wenzangu, good evening, how are you doing tonight? You know what time it is? It is time for shida za matajiri, and as always tajiri mkuu amekuja na shida yake. Shida ya tajiri, tafadhali kuja mbele ya umati.
Hey Eli, hi tajiri mwenzangu, how are you doing?
I'm great, and clearly I can tell you've been spending my money wisely.
Na kuonea 18. Eli, I see
Yes.
you.
Clearly.
Lazima tutumie hii pesa Eli, hii pesa tutatumia.
And you invested well because clearly unakaa mzuri sana. I can tell you are not just shopping. You went shopping in the streets of Soweto and came back looking all fantamagorious. Good evening, everybody that is joining. This is Shida za Matajiri. I'm Likuyani Eli.
And I'm Frida Nguku.
Frida.
Watu waingie, yes.
Watu waingie wapi? YouTube, si ndio?
Manze, watu waingie YouTube, watu waambie shida zao ni gani. We might be here to tatua their problems.
Definitely. And tonight, we are really having a great conversation around money. When we started off this thing, we said sometimes unakuwa na kiburi sana when money comes in. But again, sometimes money doesn't come as much as you anticipate. And we look out for sources, you know. Sources that we say they have to fix you. But the sources end up fixing you. Matajiri, are you aware that that money you've been borrowing could be fixing you? Frida.
Yeah.
Loans.
And not fixing your problem, you know. And loans nowadays, the other day Elia was Googling, what loan to access. And then, when you Google too evil, then click search, the things that came were all the apps that are available for me to get a loan. Not even like what loans to access. It did not even give me explanation. It did not tell me you can access a personal loan or you can have a credit card. You can, credit card is a loan, by the way. And I just realized it just gave me all options of where I can actually get loans and no information of why I should get these loans or what are the best loans to get or what type of loans are out there. And I was like, wait a minute, is it this serious? Is this serious? Meaning even on the Google site, people are getting so many loans, but any apps za loans zimefuatana, fuliza, tala, nini, zikifuatana hapo manzi.
Yani apps za loans zimeshikana kama Karo, ule mwingine, you know the names, right?
Hey, I was like, wow, this is serious.
So it's interesting you mentioning that the apps and everything that exists, and for those of you who actually manage to access loans through the so-called mobile lenders, what has been your story as we try to discover why in the first place loans could be very sweet, but the bitter side of them, it's when you got to pay. But ni mbaya kweli kuomba loan? Frida, is it wrong to ask for advance money from whatever lender?
It's actually a very good thing. And one thing I've learned in life is you need to let go of the fear of debts, because it's important for you to have actually, take loans. It's important. Kuchukua loan.
Hata Kenya iko na deni. Hata Kenya iko na deni.
Kenya iko na deni. Manze, unaona? But now, what are you doing with the money? That's where the problem comes in. Why are you taking? Are you taking that money upeleke Frida akuje ametoka Soweto amefanya shopping? Or are you taking that loan to do something that actually will get you paying back? Because remember, when you take this loan, they have interest. So ukirudi manze, umepeleka Frida Dubai, ameenda Bahamas. You guys have had fun, and then you're back.
Oh, umeupgrade kutoka Soweto umeenda Bahamas. Okay, let's continue.
You're back from Bahamas. This time round, Eli, nilienda Soweto juu ilikuwa pesa kidogo. Sasa tumechukua loan. We are going to Bahamas. I mean, money is there, right? So from Bahamas, you're getting back. Then what? That's the question that we need to ask before you take the loan. Yes, I have the money. Then, yes, I'm going to do this. Then what?
But, in the first instance, everybody that wants to access loan, they always have very perfect ideas on how they're going to execute their financial plan. I mean, I will take a loan or a mortgage and I say, when I get this money, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I pay school fees for my children. And I'm asking you, Frida, is it wrong to actually ask money to pay school fees?
Yes. Loan?
It's wrong?
A loan? Yes. You should not take a loan to pay school fees.
You know why? Rule number one, don't take loan to pay school fees. I've been hearing a lot of parents saying, this CBS thing, parents have to plan themselves within 10 days. So, mshwari fixed.
Eli, school fee is never an emergency. School fee is never an emergency. And you cannot take a loan to pay something that was never an emergency. The fact that you did not actually plan for that school fee, then it tells you that even paying it is going to be a problem. If you knew your kid is going back to school next week or next year, and actually financial advisors say when your kid is born, you should already be planning the next 13 years, the next 20 years, the next...
Are you trying to dispute Nerea? Are you trying to dispute ataleta na sahani yake kind of mentality?
Sahani inaweza kuja na chakula, lakini haijakuja na school fee. Manze? Inakuwa ngumu. Because Eli, when you take a loan, you're taking a loan to pay with interest, right? To pay with interest. So if I give you 50K and I want you to pay with 40%, kama any Shylock, that is going to be a lot of money at the end of the month, or probably depending on how you divide all that in terms of installment. Now, you've taken this ushalipa school fee. Remember, the person you were before the loan is still the person you are, because the fact that you did not plan for this school fee doesn't mean something has changed. As you say, man to umelipa school fee,
I have money. I've accessed. What are you telling me? I'm seeing the same person. I have money that I don't need to sweat about. Yes. So why, as we say about, that's the first instance we've talked about. There are things that are not emergencies. So number one thumb rule that we are trying to identify tonight is, as long as it's not an emergency or classified as an emergency, probably you don't need that emergency loan. But Frida, there are people who are always with emergencies. Ushapigiwa simu, niko na emergency.
I feel like emergency has always been a mind issue most of the time. Most of the time, emergencies has always been a mind issue, because people have emergencies of rent, Eli. Manze niko na emergency ya rent. Manze, rent is never an emergency.
Landlord ananigojea.
Landlord ameniharas in emergency. It's not an emergency. And another thing that people need to remember is, before you even get to the loans, before you even get to thinking of taking money so you can put it somewhere, the first thing that needs to come to your mind is saving. And part of saving is having an emergency fund, where now you're saving for emergency. There's a reason there's an emergency fund. So you're saving so that you are able to have an emergency somewhere waiting just in case of anything. And clearly Corona taught us that last year, really.
Well, we can preach about saving, but clearly that is not in our DNA as, as matajiri. Saving has never been part of our DNA. Let's get to the comment section. We have Chris Ndati who says wow. Ama ni Chris Nati amesema wow, sijui wow kumewa wapi, but thank you so much. Njekita says tuned in. Thank you so much. #Art in Heart. We have Noreen who says shida zetu ndio hizi sasa za Tala, Branch, Fuliza, Mkopo, etc. Ama ni Mkopo. Wewe ameendelea tu na wow huku zake na wesh. Okay, let's see. Muko Power Studio, so much love. It is so very nice. Thank you so much, Enoch. Tumefurahi sana for the love. Thank you so much. We have Matasio Kagwa. Anasema loan na school fees holiday. Hapo tricky sana. Hapo tricky sana. African man all the way in the heck. Thank you so much. Niko hapa kusikiza. Thank you. Karibu sana Andrew. Tuko na story mingi sana ya kuongelea. We have Nyanduka amesema kuna ingine inaitwa Okash. Mswari. That's how you are always playing in between those apps. And then and Jakita goes on and says, by the way, Art in Heart, take loan to invest in something real and necessary. And not necessary, but also make sure to unnecessary but also make sure to plan the repayment. Now,
and not accessory.
Oh, accessories. Okay, accessories.
Yes, accessories. Yeah.
Before we comment on that, let's take one more from Boniface Witaba, our #1 YouTube fan. Santi sana, umeshikilia sana. By the way, I just finished conducting a study on payday loan apps in Africa and their impact on our privacy. Ding, ding.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
umekaa hivi naambiwa, hello, Mr. Likuyani. Am I talking to Eli Likuyani? Yes.
Yes.
Your rich girlfriend here, Frida Nguku, hajalipa pesa yetu. Embarrassment loaded. But before we get to that, kabla tuendelea na hiyo, let's get back to about taking loans for investments. Frida.
Yes.
There's consumer loans and then there is investment loans. But most of when you hear this cash, the guys are mentioning here in Mswari and the likes, most of these loans that young people are taking actually consumer loans.
Yes.
Do you see value for such loans, Frida, or how can we disengage from such?
And now the problem with these consumer small loans, the Okash, Mshwari, all those things is they're addictive. One, because they are very easy to access. It's just on your phone, so you don't have to have a second thought of it. So they're addictive. And the moment you take today, you can always pay and take again. Take again.
What you're trying to tell me, ikitu na umusara, they have the same WhatsApp group. They are addictive. You do this and you do Mshwari loans.
It's a cycle, Eli. It's a cycle, and there's nothing as addictive as money that is just coming in, and you're like, any income umekaa even then kadhaa kanaingia. And the funny thing is, we have very terrible backgrounds when it comes to how we spend our money. Most of us, we were brought up without really knowledge of what money is and how to go about it. So when money comes in, the next thing that comes into our mind is how to spend it. The next thing, the next card, yes, how to spend it. But we never think about, is this my money? Because when you have a loan, it's not your money.
I think you're being nice. You've used the right words because that's politically correct. When money comes in, the next thing we are thinking is how to spend it. I believe the next thing you are thinking is, where can I spend this money? Some people receive their paycheck and they cannot stay at home.
Yes.
Have you ever had that feeling, especially if you're a long distance traveler? Sometimes you have to do connections of flights and stuff like that. Ama kama ukwe kama Noreen uende uko karibu na mpaka, uende kuna boyfriend. Unafika saa fulani suruali imeanza kuchemka. So even the seat becomes uncomfortable. You are like this.
Yeah.
That is the kind of mentality we have with a lot of young people of today. And probably these are borrowed kind of habits that we have very poor financial management skills such that money cannot stay with you. You and money are allergic. You clearly each hii pesa naipeleka wapi? Hii pesa naipeleka wapi? And you see, once now you access that consumer loan that most of us are able to access, thanks to this Oswari that Nyanduko is saying, what do we end up doing? We end up spending and diverting that money to where it wasn't intended for in the first place.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
Let's take let's take an example. Nyanduko who has mentioned wanapenda hizo malons za Okash. Umepata Okash yako. The minimum access fee itakuja ndani. I mean, then there is the duty, and then there is the amount of repayment.
Eli,
yes, my dear.
Acha tusiende kwa Okash. Let's talk about airtime. Let's go to what people really think they understand. So let's go to airtime, right? You don't have airtime right now. You're supposed to call your girlfriend. And I'm like, shit, anyone? I don't have airtime. So I'm supposed to get on copper. There's copper on you know, copper credo. Mbao, 20 bob. Hata nichukue 220. Niongee na yeye nimalize history. So you take you copper 20 bob. How much do you get to your phone?
I think they take about is it 10 or 20% almost? Yeah.
You get 18. You get 18 shillings, right? So already they've taken you owe them 20, but they gave you how much? 18. But in your thoughts, you're thinking you took 20. Unajua mtu afikiriangi nimepewa 18 by the way. Wanasemanga nimepewa 20. Then you use and you're done, right? Yeah. Then next time you're like, sahi wacha ni buy credit, I load. Then you load your 20 bob. They do not take 18. They take 20. Remember, they gave you 20, took 2 bob, meaning they gave you 18. But kwa nini yao, kwa you know their records, you have 20 bob, but they gave you 18. So clearly, yes, umechukua 16 bob. Imagine from 20 bob, you just consumed 16 shillings. That's for 4 on top of you only 20 umechukua 4. As we move higher, as we go to 100 to 1,000, it becomes more. But we don't look at that. Kwanza easy copper, sijui copper, internet copper, we never look at it that way because we feel like,
easy fix.
Yes, it's easy fix. And you need it. By the way, we feel like we need it. And actually, you don't need it. And why am I saying you don't need it? It's because if you get to that point where they say, umeka sana na hidden yetu, because they get to that point, umeka sana na hidden yetu, so you cannot access more of a credit, you actually survive. Really? You survive without it.
Oh, you survive without the credits?
Yes, you will survive without it.
Okay, right? Fine. You know what? We've talked about all that, but I want us to come back and talk more about, when you borrow for the right purpose, how this can help you out and how this can help fix your issues if you're going to fix them. We take a break.
Finally, it's gonna offer nice kupite Ajoymak Wallpapers and Deco. We have quality wallpapers, wall mirrors, and contact papers to beautify that space of yours. Currently, we have selected wallpapers on offer for 10.50 Kenya shillings per roll. A roll is 10 meters by 0.5 meters. So technically, a normal wall will take 2 to 3 rolls. We deliver and install countrywide. Get in touch with us on 0786923452 and we will help you build a happy place.
Of course, Joymark Wallpapers helping you build a happy place. Get in contact kwa sababu hako ka offer kanaisha mbio. It has to be an investment of your happy place. But then again, Nyanduko anatuambia earlier on there's a message there, but the name actually is very, very ngumu sana. Anasema, I'm in Ravin, nawapata live. Thank you so much. Nyanduko goes ahead and says, loans unless ni ya investment, aki ni makosa. Taking loan to buy a car is one of the funniest jokes I have ever heard.
She put it as is. It's actually a funny joke. It's a joke. I'm not sure it's funny, but yes, it's actually a joke.
Well, I have my reservations on that, and I will tell you probably towards the end of this show. But let's take at that first of all and just digest that. Taking money to invest. Is it really necessary to invest in a new business?
Ellie,
with loans?
No. You cannot take a loan, and I'm using the word cannot, put it in bold and underline. You cannot start a business with a loan. It's not advisable to start a business with a loan. yes, you can grow a business that has been there by taking a loan. That is acceptable. But you cannot say, manze nimekuwa na hii idea. Nataka kuanza ukulima. Nimeona shamba iko. Nataka hapo. In the next 3 months, hii itakuwa imekuwa niuze. That is a wrong move. You cannot start a business. Normally, it's advised to start a business with savings. And that's why saving is the first thing that should come into your mind before you even think about investment. So you start with saving, you can start with friends giving you money, you can start with family. Family, actually, when you ask for help, family can come through for you. They tell you, so wanataka kwanza biashara yangu, we'll give you 10K, we'll give you 5K, but never start a business with a loan. Bad idea. Because they fail early.
You know, that's a great aspect you're bringing in. And I'm here wondering, there's this family member that always has a smart idea on how they can do business. And then they'll come to you with a nice business idea and how you can loan them that money. That is not a problem. But now it has become loan. It's not a gift anymore. So the expectation is you must repay back that money. Is it one of the reasons some people fight with their siblings or relatives that ulichukua deni na kunilipa?
Yeah, and by the way, people tend to feel, huyu kwanza alichukua loan, hajawahi lipa. So when you're taking even this money from your friends or your family, don't make it a loan. They are helping you grow your business. You know, your dad can decide, Eli, shika hii 100K, we decide, ile siku utaweza kunilipa, it's okay, pay me. Right? But you're not coming to me as Frida, as a Shylock, and you're like, I'm giving you money, and you want to pay me in 3 months, and then your business are not pick even in a year, even in 2. So you not only owe me, but you also have interest. So there's something that people need to understand when it comes to investment. Investment is putting money where it can grow. You're getting that?
So talking of where money can grow, there is always another terrible idea of I take this money, okay? I trust my mother in the village. Atapanda mahindi na hii pesa. Alafu August tutavuna. Are those investments or these monies that you feed to the cows?
That is actually an investment, but pesa yenye unaenda kuanza, you know, investment is where putting money where it can grow. It doesn't mean where it must grow. Inakuwa investment because you put money is going to grow. You get? So mamako ataenda, yes, atatengeneza probably in 5 years, probably pesa yako itakuwa imerudi. But do you have the luxury to wait for that money to get there with a loan money? You get it? And that's where we have a problem, where now you put money with the expectation of being able to grow it because umeanza kitu. And we know we start things with so much expectations and excited, and that's a good thing. But again, money doesn't work like that. Money doesn't have those emotions. Money doesn't have excitement and sijui what. Pesa inanga hizo manzi.
So money gives, it's never part of the chemistry. It's just a catalyst. Wewe tu inakuchocha, pesa inakuchocha, lakini
imenyamaza.
Wewe ndio utaendelea kubana.
Wewe ndio unaendelea kubana ama kucheka. Uko excited lakini pesa iko tu bila. Inakungoja, inamwambia boss, I'm waiting.
Play like you until you meet me. Let me get a few more comments. Na najua hii time yetu ni limited sana, but we'll try. Na Nyandukogo sasa, na hata investment ikiwe sure bet, juu utaingia kwa debt like haki. Anyway, what do I know? Yes, exactly. When you start an investment, now you are there. But again, Frida anatuambia, it's when you start and saying your investment, it means you're putting your money where it can grow. Not it must, but it can. Grow. That's very important. Put in your notes. Thank you so much. Listening from Kilifi County, Kenya. Asante sana William Chiwai. Godi Segero anatuambia nini? Maana kuambia hii show kusoma messages ni blanda. Is there, if there is a curse that is in Kenya, is fuliza.
People have converted debt to be their cash, by the way. The only good thing with fuliza, Eli unajua wewe hii Kenya labda ujui mambo ya fuliza. The good thing with fuliza is they don't wait for you. So ukifuliza, the next M-Pesa that comes, the next one, hata utapata ya message ya umepata, you get a message of imeenda. So that's
No
that's
wonder,
the
no,
other
no wonder I have some
example.
relatives that always tell me, usitume kwa hii number,
Kwa hii.
tuma kwa ile ingine, iko na shida. And you're like, what kind of a problem would your phone definitely have? But then again, it is what it is. There is no value to take loan for restaurants, fare, holidays, and etc. It is a waste of money and make you become poorer and poorer. You will end up working a whole month paying loans. That's Njekita. Thank you so much, Manze. Ninakwambia wisdom huku ni kubwa sana.
Yeah.
Let me see. Papa Lumumba amekuja. Edwin Oyugi enjoying the show. Thank you so much. Frida following. Starting a business na loan is a scam. Biggest scam ever. There's a lot of pressure that comes with it. You're struggling to grow a business and the lender is mounting pressure on you. Clearly, utakuwa air pressure ama ni utakuwa barometer. Choose your battle. Papa Eshuchi says, loans are never really bad. We just take them for the wrong reasons. We have a properly worked out plan or alternatives of source of income that could be regular enough to settle that loan. Sometimes the worth of an investment is in facilitating it one time. Our saving culture and income sometimes make it impossible to save enough for solid investments.
Now that's where the problem comes in. Now our cultures tunafika hiyo place yenye you're so used to getting the 20k so unafeel sasa 20k rent yangu ni 10 nini. But always remember, if you want to get to that point where you can have some solid saving, you need to remember that you need to pay yourself first. And paying yourself first in this case happens where you save. When you're working, you have a business somewhere and it's bringing money, then that money should start by paying you for because you're working, And if you're employed, the first thing you should do is save. That is paying yourself. Because that's the only way now you start building that solid saving that now can come in and help you build your investment. And Lumumba said something else, right? If you have some other income that can help you in facilitating this loan. Now that will help a lot of people who have personal loans. Remember, you have personal loans and we have business loans, right? So for personal loans, probably you have a payslip. So payslip yako pesa inakatwa direct. So people tend to feel like nikichukua 100k na nikatwa 10k from my 30, I'm left with 20. So pesa ikimwagika huko and then your business doesn't work. People feel like I'm still paying for something that does not exist, but I still have some salary coming in. So you give yourself that kamoyo, but still you invested at something that actually helped.
There are two investments I want to talk about, and one of them is the car, the other one is the house. Let me start with the house. Do you believe it's an investment, having a house, Frida?
I feel like a house is a closet. When I say a closet, is something that looks like an asset, but it's not. Because if you invest in, we invest in,
Awesome. That's food for thought. For everybody that is watching, I need you to get where we are coming from. We are not telling you guys cannot have houses. And one thing I don't say I regret, but I would have had a second thought if I was given the opportunity, I was buying a house. But it depends at what stage of your financial capacity you are in. That's important. Most of us, especially the African society, we believe in building houses. The community I come from, mwanaume ni kujenga nyumba, simamisha kitu watu washtuke. Now,
usilipe rent.
Case in point, I'm living here in Europe, right? And my pa or somebody will be putting pressure on me. My son, you've been there for years now. You have to put something. At least when you come, there's somewhere for you to put your head. I'm like, And then the next time I go to my village is over Christmas period, okay? And that is if finances are very friendly.
Yeah.
But I've spent my whole winter and summer in Europe. By the time I'm going to my village, the house that I built 3 years ago needs renovation. Because nobody's living in it. It is just looking
actually
good.
You're spending money. Yes.
It's looking good. But meanwhile, there's this Kashamba boy that I have to give some stipends to keep fit the place. I cut nyasi, tengeneze the fence and all that. And then by the time the year is coming to an end, I've spent probably on that caretaker about every single month. I was spending almost 20,000 Kenyan shillings. If you bring it to the end of the year, it's anything between 240 100,000 Kenyan shillings.
Shillings. Yes.
In a house that houses probably, because he can only use the servant quarters, so the house will be housing probably a little bit of mice here and there, some roaches, and probably some bed bugs if my bags are in the bed. So question is, when we talk about, I have a very great investment called a house, where are we? Especially for those who have been telling me, invest kwa flats ziko na pesa. We'll talk about those ones next week. But let me come to the car that Nyanduko said earlier on. Well, I tend to ask, what sort of car are you buying? That's very important.
Yes.
What is the functionality of that car?
Yes.
It might be a plus or a minus.
Yes.
If I'm buying a car so that if I'm buying a car so that all of my villagers can know our son in the city is doing well.
That's a liability.
If I'm buying a car to continue supplying my viazis that I'm trying to give this akina mama mboga and all that to continue, restocking, then probably
that's an asset.
It's an asset. Question at the end of the day is, what is the intention or the purpose of the car you're buying? If it's a car, if it's a truck, what do you want to do with it? If it's going to help you generate money, and sio kwa matatu, utaka kwa jam kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni, and everybody nowadays decided they want to become Uber drivers. Ile kilio utalia, uliza watu wa Uber. Back to you, Nyanduko. Frida, before we finish. Nyanduko amenipea speech leo, but it's okay. Frida, as we sign out, what do you want to say?
Yes. I would say this, betting and gambling, paying rent, cosmetic procedures, school fees, starting a business, all those are flosses. Do not take a loan to get into things that are not growing your money. Start with the saving first. Learn the culture of saving before you can actually get into the investment. And that will save you big time.
I'll take two more comments from Meshuchi, who says, putting your money where it should grow. It can or may not grow. But again, it's where other variants like risk-taking come to play. Definitely. There are some risks you don't want to take. And another one, Elia and Frida, tell me, where do we save? Why do we save?
You save with a goal. That's another thing. You save with a goal. It could be a goal of investment. It could be a goal of going on a vacation. But what you're trying to cultivate here is the culture of saving. And most of the time when you're saving, you're paying yourself. That means you've mastered the art of money comes in, I put aside before you even do anything else. That means you can take care of the little that you have and fit into the things that you want to do. So cultivating saving helps you now to think beyond and now get to that goal. But don't save without a goal. That's another thing. It doesn't make sense. Save with a goal.
Let's save with a goal. And just in, thank you to Boniface Witaba. As before, Safaricom just updated its fuliza terms. Hey, wow. I was waiting for this. The God we pray. Hallelujah. Fuliza terms. Fuliza defaulters to be blocked from Mshwari and KCB M-Pesa.
Great.
Kabisa. This is, if there's any other company watching this, this is way to go. Safaricom, thumbs up. Safaricom, thumbs up.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let me take two more comments and then we finish the cast. It's buying a car. If it's buying a car, it should be helping you to make money. If it's just to ease your movement, and sherehe, my friend, it is a liability. Exactly. Without a goal, it is hard to keep a saving culture. Saving with a goal. Ping, ping. Anastasia ametumalizia. Now, let's do this. This conversation has not come to an end because matajiri tuko hapa na mimi kama tajiri mkuu ninasema shida ya tajiri imekaa right besides me. Next week, we bring you another episode of Shida za Matajiri. We'll still be sinking more into the loan culture and the investments culture. See you next week. Frida, tupige yako ya mwisho.
Thank you guys for being here, and thank you tajiri mwenzangu kwa kukua hapa. See you next time, and remember tomorrow is Creative Space. We have an amazing show guys, so usisahau kuingia kesho Creative Space. Bye, see you next week.
Say you, and we leave you with this
Love
lady.
you.